Hello everybody, my name is Spoons Rattling. Welcome to another video where today we are covering the Inner Circle Companions who got a buff just today in the Balanced Data Slate. And I love these models, so obviously I want to cover how cool they are, even though this is technically different from all the Chaos stuff I've been doing. Though, I mean, they're Dark Angels, so are they really not Chaos? Anyways, so the Inner Circle Companions come in at 90 points for 3, or 180 for 6, which is pretty standard if a bit pricey for Elite Space Marines. They come at it, move 6 inches, standard, toughness 4, standard, 3+ save, 3 wounds, which is very nice to make them a little bulky and resistant to damage 2 weapons. Leadership 6+ is of course handy to resist battle shock shenanigans, and OC1 is nothing special, but it is nice to be able to contest objectives, as well as do secondary actions in the new mission pack. In terms of ranged weapons, they're obviously unimpressive, you can tell because none of them hold them. Except for the guy with the banner, and even then he's holding the banner. The heavy bolt pistol comes in at 1 attack that hits on 3s. It's strength 4, AP 1, and damage 1. A very standard pistol. It has 18-inch range. I just realized I didn't put the range on the ranged weapon. What am I doing? Then we have the Calibanite Greatsword, which has 2 modes, strike and sweep. The strike gets lethal hits, gets 4 attacks, ballistic skill 3+, strength 6, AP 2, and damage 2. A very nice general purpose profile that's very good at killing most kinds of space marines. Then it can go into sweep mode if it needs to deal with hordes, which gets a beefy sustained hits 2, 5 attacks at ballistic skill 3+, strength 6, AP 2, and damage 1, which is of course a nightmare for any horde opponent that these guys might run into. Which is, of course, very nice to have the flexibility, and these guys' melee is vicious enough that they really can tangle with most things in the game, with the exception of the heaviest stuff, but the lethal hits even patches up that weakness. With Oath of Moment, just reroll everything that isn't a 6, and you'll be laughing. They have 2 abilities. They have the Brazier of Judgment, which is, while they're led by a character, this unit's -1 to hit, which is nice for extra durability, especially good if you're uncovered or really double down on how tough these guys can be. Then Enmity of the Unworthy, I just realized I left the Y off. When this unit attacks a character unit, you can reroll 1s to hit. This is of course very nice. They hit on 3s, and rerolling 1s makes them very accurate naturally, and then if you're not fighting the Oath of Moment target, of course it's just a source of rerolls in general. Again, these guys are very fighty in melee. They really do chop things up with those great swords, and the main buff they received is an extra attack on their sweep mode, which makes it really, really nasty. And the AP2 from AP1, which is what they should have been. But now that they are AP2, they are much, much more dangerous against just about everything in the game. And then in terms of leaders, anything that can join a Stern Guard, and then any Tacticus Armored or Mark 7 Power Armored Dark Angels character can lead them. In terms of using them, another indirect buff was the buff to Impulsors, as now you can fit 6 of them and a character inside an Impulsor if you don't want to foot slog them, which is understandable. They are rather pricey to want to have to foot slog across the board. But even still, I think with their -1 to hit and having their best leader along, who's Azrael, give them a 4+ invulnerable save, I think they are pretty tough. But regardless, the Impulsor is still a great option just to get them up the board faster. In terms of detachments, they're good pretty much anywhere. Their melee stats are beefy enough to help them chop through just about anything. But in Dark Angels specific, the Deathwing Task Force got a nice buff where you can choose to have any of the objectives that you don't control be your Vow of Vengeance or something like that, which gives you +1 to wound. And that's really useful with their Strength 6 profiles, which makes them super efficient against just about everything. Even Toughness 12 things will be wounded by them on a 5+, which is much better than a 6. And, of course, anything below Toughness 12, you're wounding on a 4, which is really meaty. Then, as I said, Azrael gives them the 4+ invulnerable save, and the Watcher in the Dark, which gives you the Feel No Pain against devastating wounds, or mortal wounds, which are devastating wounds again now. And, his melee is really powerful, so is his ranged weapon. I'd say that Azrael is just by far the best person to have lead these guys, though anyone would appreciate the extra muscle of having these guys behind him, though of course he can't lead the other chapter's characters, obviously. I think that these guys are just outstanding, really. I think they're really strong at 90 points, and I will definitely be running some of them in my Loyalist army, which isn't technically Dark Angels, but I'm just going to paint them up as my guys, and now I have some cool guys in robes with swords. Anyways, I've been Spoons Rattling. Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.